This is The Wealth Exec. Let's reach your goals together. My name is Carrie Amaro, and I created The Wealth Exec as a platform to help executives, business owners, anyone interested in learning more. I hope you've been enjoying the 12 Business Days Till a New Year series. Please look out for the great things that we're starting in the beginning of 2021. Now let's get started. You can't please everyone, but don't let this be a crutch. There's a quote from Rumi that says, "Listen with ears of tolerance and see through eyes of compassion." Now with these podcasts, I've provided a platform where business owners and executives shouldn't need to be an accountant to understand what's happening in their businesses. But I also want to bring to light that there's also an emotional intelligence aspect to success. In today's episode, we're going to be dealing with leadership and change. Before I start, I want everyone to remember that change begins with yourself. And although these topics are specifically geared towards leadership, they're really for anyone. If you recall back on days 7 and 8 of our Business Day series, we touched upon things like self-awareness, self-regulation, and action, which encompasses things like being motivated, empathetic, and developing social skills. Businesses, like in the course of life, face struggles, change, and resistance. And how we deal with this on a personal level and along with our business will decide how successful we are. There are so many increasing pressures in business as well as with individuals to survive this period of COVID, and this skill set is so relevant to keep our heads simply above water. 2020 came in like a tornado, disrupted many of our lives, creating a feeling of anxiety and uncertainty. There are many that seize the moment, that try to find the silver lining to empower people, not because that's who they are per se, but because they knew that those around them needed it. Leaders like family, heck, even in your own life, you feel the responsibility that you have to overcome challenges and implement change. Emotional intelligence is an important skill for leaders to have if we want to succeed. A key detriment to the level of success is our degree to which we have the ability to communicate the need for change, while at the same time understanding the resistance that may occur. We understand that fear and anxiety occur in those around us, even in ourselves. In this stage, social skills of a leader are essential for effective communication. To be empathetic, know when to engage emotions and when to engage with reason is so very important. Emotionally intelligent leaders do not quit when they encounter irrational resistance, but employ this emotional skill, taking into consideration their corporate culture, the demands that are made, and helping those around them to overcome resistance and instill a sense of security. But to do all of this, remember, we discussed starting with one's self. Leaders, whether you're a leader of an organization, of a family, you need to understand yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses. You have to build the capacity to self-manage. Leaders use emotional information to build trust, secure cooperation. They understand when to display empathy. They become socially aware to assist in developing collaborations. But this entails understanding people's loss during the change process, displaying the skill to solving problems. Now, many times this has to be broken down by department or even team lead. As with any community, there is a mission statement and a culture, and those set by your executive team. Ensuring your executive team has the skill set and capability to instill calmness in a climate of anxiety is key. Now in the workbook, we incorporate the 7 languages of love into the business world. Understanding how you expect to see reactions and how those around you expect to see reactions is very important. For instance, with COVID, the desire that I had was joining Table of Hope and making sure people were fed. In my place of employment, making sure that my staff was properly treated and that their personal lives were taken into consideration. This is what COVID brought out of me. was the protection aspect and making sure those around me that looked at me in a leadership role also understood that I had their back and that I understood where they were coming from. If there were people who displayed acts of service, I wanted to create acts of service so that they knew that they were okay, that I was with them. If they were individuals who needed word affirmations, I made sure that I gave them word affirmations. Because at the end of the day, I needed a result. But at the same time, I had a deep desire for them to understand that you're not alone. And everyone comes from somewhere. Everyone has a background. And mine, stems from the fact that I've been a single mom for 21 years and that I have experienced a time in my life where I didn't know how I was going to put food on the table. And I experienced work environments that had my back. When my son was 2, just started a new company. That company could have fired me or had me use vacation days. No, what my boss did was he said, you don't worry about it. You take care of your son. And they paid me regular salaried for the time that I was in the hospital with my child. That gave me such a feeling of appreciation and dedication to that organization. Or instances where I had to travel for work. I traveled a lot. Stay home, don't come into the office once your plane arrives. Or while I was traveling, go have a nice dinner tonight. Or they would put me in a nice hotel. And it created a sense where I just wanted to do more for that particular leader or organization because they took into consideration that I was giving them something that was so key in my life, which was my time away from my family. So in the midst of COVID, in the midst of any conflict or hurdle that your organization is going through, understanding who you are and then understanding what the key players or anyone in your organization needs to be successful, to understand your mission and to get across that finish line is something that you should embrace. The PDF that's with this podcast allows you to work through these steps to come out on the other end successful. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please leave me a review. If you've missed any of the episodes, you can find them on iTunes, on my website, thewealthexec.com, or on any social media platform that you're listening to right now. We have many exciting things happening 2021, so keep an eye out. This is The Wealth Exec. Let's reach your goals together. Till next time, take care.